Hello, I'm Yohan Bosse. I'm a professor in the Department of Molecular Medicine at Laval University, and I'm leading a genomic research program on cardiorespiratory disease at the Institut Universitaire de Cardiologie et Pneumologie de Québec. I'm the author of publications entitled Updates on the COPD Gene List, published in the International Journal of COPD. I was first asked to review the genetics of COPD in 2008, which led to publications in 2009 in the journal Pharmacogenomics. Since that publications, I'm keeping track of the literatures as a major research interest. There's a key features that I would like to highlight in this review article. First are Table 1 and Supplementary Table 1. These tables provide summarize genetic association studies in COPD and related phenotype published before 2011. There's a total of 192 genes in these tables, and the goal of this table was to provide a comprehensive list of publications for any given genes without judging the quality of these publications. So in Figure 1, I have illustrate all these 192 genes in one view. So if you look at Figure 1, on the x-axis, you can see the number of studies supporting the associations, and on the y-axis, the number of genes. And for example, if you look at the second bar, you can see that 86 genes were supported by at least one publications. Underneath that bar, you can see the 86 genes. You can also see in this figure that there are 7 genes that were replicated in more than 10 publications. However, these are not necessarily the most robust genes associated with COPD or related phenotype. In fact, if you look at figure number 2, you can see the relationship between the positive and negative studies. As an example, if you look at the upper right corner of this figure, you can see the TNF genes. We can find in the literatures 20 publications that support the genetic variants in the TNF genes are associated with COPD or related phenotype. However, we can also find 20 different publications that do not support such associations. So it seems that genes that are the most replicated in COPD are simply the genes that are the most popular genes studied. Perhaps the most convincing COPD genes so far are those that are less studied but consistently replicated, as illustrated in the lower right corner of that figure. I think the most important discoveries in the field of genetics of COPD during the past few years were derived from genome-wide association studies. In the text, I describe each of the GWAS published in COPD and lung functions and related complications. All the major findings are summarized in Table 2. Finally, I complete the article by giving some of my perspectives in the field. I think identifying the molecular basis of COPD is challenging, but I think the years ahead are likely to be very exciting. I think geneticists will need to work together, but also with the full spectrum of experts that are treating patients with COPD in order to have large sample size as well as to have phenotypes that are very well characterized with precise phenotype. I also think that we need more than GWAS studies. We need more integrative genomic approach, and I briefly touch on a multi-site genomic research project that I'm doing with my colleagues on lung specimens to identify lung EQTLs. So I hope that this collection of studies will be useful for researchers in the field, and it can also provide a concise overview on the genetics of COPD for the general readers of the International Journal of COPD. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy reading it.